Well, the dust has well and truly settled on yet another CES. In fact, that was my 20th this year. And for the last week, I've had the usual CES flu, which has kind of knocked me out, and you can probably still hear it on my voice. But now it's time to sit down, look back, and just find out exactly what happened in Vegas. CES remains one of the largest consumer electronics trade shows on the planet, and it's the one event that most of the brands show off their Halo products and of course their future technologies. Here you'll see everything from robots dancing to Michael Jackson and playing ping pong to 130-inch micro LED monster TVs. Generally, it's not a show where you're going to be given the TV product lineup for the year ahead, as the stand space is obviously tight and very expensive, and manufacturers really want to highlight the most advanced technology in a bid to showcase their brilliant engineering and future products that are coming to market soon. Most stands feature concept Halo products along with some really high-end top-tier models that are set to launch in the year ahead. You're not given any information about the more affordable ranges and models for the year ahead, and there's no examples of those TVs on show at CES. It's all about the latest and greatest, highlighting the technology coming to market and not necessarily the individual models. I've been attending and covering CES for over 20 years now, and it really has changed beyond all recognition over the years. The vast majority of stands were in the convention halls, and the products for the next year ahead were always lined up on the stands with a clear roadmap ahead of what was coming. You did get some concept products, and obviously there were big demos showing off what the future held in terms of technology. I'll always remember the Pioneer Kuro demonstration where there was just this ring floating in the middle of complete blackness back in the days of plasma. But it's nothing like it is now, where there's lots of vaporware and lots of technology like micro LED that's been promised for quite a number of years now, but it's yet to arrive in any meaningful manner. Another big change that has happened and gained momentum since COVID is how spread out the show now is, with exhibits covering not just the convention halls, but some brands are now taking over entire hotel complexes, such as Samsung moving to the Wynn this year and not showing anything at all at the convention centre. Plus, not all of the TV brands show up at CES to show off new TVs, with Sony and Panasonic not showing any TV product at all this time around. Now, while CES is a massive show, manufacturers will also hold their very own TV launch events in the next few weeks and months, and this is where we'll get the finer details of the products coming and the roadmap for the year ahead. That way the brands get the full attention of the press at their own event, and it's here where we'll actually get hands-on with some of the product and where it will actually be revealed. So, is CES still a show that is worth covering, certainly in terms of video coverage like we do on this channel? Well, I'll come back to that a little bit later in the video. Our first stop at CES this year was LG Electronics. Behind closed doors, we were shown the OLED and mini and micro LED TV models for 2026, and this is unusual because you don't usually get the full model lineup for the year ahead from manufacturers at CES. LG unveiled the return of the wallpaper TV with the new W6 model, which boasts a 9.9mm thickness and a flush mount that makes it hang on the wall completely flat and flush. There's just the power cable running up to the TV, and all the TV processing and connections are housed in a new, thinner Zero Connect box, which includes 4 HDMI 2.1 ports. The panel employed in the W6 is the same as the flagship G6 model. The W6 will be available in 77 and 83-inch screen sizes. Both the W6 and G6 use the latest primary RGB 2.04 stack panel with what LG are coining Hyper Radiant Color Tech. We still don't know exactly what that means because we haven't measured any of these TVs, but there's also a new anti-glare treatment applied to the panel which helps combat reflections while also maintaining that glossy wet look which helps display blacks perfectly. This panel will feature in the G6 55, 65, 77 and 83-inch models. The C-Series is the most popular LG OLED model, and this year's C6 version gets a really big upgrade, but only at the big screen sizes. The 77 and 83-inch C6H models will get the same primary RGB tandem 2.0 panel as the G6, with a slight drop in brightness due to the thinner C6 chassis and the lack of a full heatsink. This is really quite big news for the C6H, which offers big screen fans the higher level panel from the flagship models. The 65-inch and lower will not have the tandem panel, but the C series for 2026 does feature the same Alpha 11 Gen 3 processor, which is found in the W6 and G6 flagships. This processor offers much higher brightness with the new Brightness Booster Ultra feature and up to 3.9 times the brightness compared to the B6 model. It's a new dual AI engine offering advanced upscaling, enhanced 12-bit colour processing, and hopefully a much improved gradational performance, meaning we won't see any of the posterization issues that we saw with the G5 model this year. Another big push from LG this year is their QNED Mini and Micro LED LCD TV models that are coming along in 2026. The normal Mini LED QNED 85 is available in 50, 55, 65, 75, 86 and 100-inch screen sizes, with the QNED 90 available in 55, 65, 75, 85 and 115 inches. Next up we have the brand new MRGB 85 Mini RGB Evo, which will feature a 50, 55, 65, 75 and 86-inch screen sizes, and there's also a very similar spec MRGB 9M model in 65, 75 and 86-inch screen sizes that will use the new wireless Zero Connect box. The flagship is the MRGB 95 Micro RGB TV with the Alpha 11 Gen 3 processor. This screen is available in 75, 86 and 100-inch screen sizes. LG are confident that by using the new Alpha 11 Gen 3 processor, which is developed for 8.3 million pixels of an OLED panel, that this will have the computational power to produce some really good local dimming when it comes to those thousands of micro LEDs and backlight zones. Most of the flagship models from LG will also be compatible with the new LG Sound Suite with Dolby Atmos Flex Connect speakers, but there is no support in 2026 for Dolby Vision 2. Next up was the Samsung First Look event, and here we had to go searching to find the new TV models on show, as the stand was set out to highlight features and technology and not necessarily highlight the actual new models of TV. For example, I finally found the new Samsung 77-inch QD OLED S95H TV being used in a demonstration for the glare-free screen coating, and the only way to tell was a small ticket at the side of the TV telling you exactly what it is that you're looking at. The 55, 65 and 77-inch versions of the S95H will have the QD OLED panel, which is brighter than last year. The 48 and 83-inch models will feature WRGB panels. Another change for 2026 is that the S95H will have all of the connections on the back of the TV chassis, and the Wireless One Connect box is now optional. You could add the wireless box to the TV, and that gives you 8 HDMI 2.1 ports available for all the sources you could possibly need to connect to the TV. The concept screen at the Samsung event was the 130-inch Micro RGB R95H with its stunning frame design stand. I'm guessing that TCL supplied the panel for this set, as they are the only manufacturer that has the ability to cut glass to this 130-inch screen size, something that I was shown last year in a TCL presentation. This entire one-piece TV is really something to behold when you're standing next to it, and if it ever makes it into a final TV model available for sale, you can expect to be paying a massive price tag. We know that the R95H and R85H micro LED ranges are due in 2026, as well as the H models for the OLED screens. You can get more details in Ian's news story, as none of these models were highlighted or shown at the First Look event. Hisense had their concept TVs front and centre of the stand, and they were exactly the same size of micro LED TVs from last year in 136 and 163 inch screen sizes. And these do look amazing as a spectacle, but as something you might want to buy one day, I'm just not convinced that we're going to see micro LED at the consumer level for many more years to come. And I think that's why companies like Hisense are so keen to push the RGB micro and mini LED technology as something brand new and exciting, even though they are just LCD TVs with a different backlight. The 116-inch UXS is an update of the 116UX that I reviewed last year, and it adds a new sky blue cyan pixel to the RGB of the backlight to enhance the colour gamut performance even more. But Hisense don't actually specify what they're trying to enhance here. In easier reach of actual consumers, but not shown at CES on their stand, Hisense will launch the UR9 RGB Mini LED that will be available in 65, 75 and 85 inch screen sizes, which they're claiming is an attainable flagship TV. And then slightly below that is the UR8 series RGB Mini LED TV, and it will be 55 inches all the way up to 100 inches. And the UR8 is being pushed as a model that most people out there will be able to afford at a more attainable price point. Both sets will feature the new Panasonic 800 chipset with 4 full bandwidth HDMI 2.1 ports and Dolby Vision to support. The UR9 uses the same chipset, but it will only have 3 HDMI 2.1 ports and 1 USB-C DisplayPort input. And one last TV that really piqued my interest on the Hisense stand, but there wasn't much information about it actually being a TV that's going to come to market or be available at any point in 2026. But they did show a 21:9 TV, so a CinemaScope ratio TV. It really piqued my interest. The way that they were using it on the stand was they were moving 16:9 image to one side and then using another area of the screen for an open web page or an open app or social media page of some kind or whatever. So you could watch your TV and have this other page open, or you could widen it out and watch film content. And I do believe 21:9 is a format that we really need to have back at some point. So please, Hisense. TCL will also have an RGB Mini LED TV in 2026 in the guise of the RM9L or C9L as it will be called in the EU and UK. This set also joins TCL's flagship Super Quantum Dot or SQD Mini LED TV, which uses a traditional white or blue backlight rather than an RGB Mini LED backlight. While TCL are offering both approaches, they do put the SQD model as their flagship due to it being able to have far more local dimming zones, a higher peak brightness, no colour crosstalk and a thinner, lighter chassis design. And the main reason for the SQD being ahead in the TCL lineup comes down to some tweaks with the quantum dot material, where it has been tuned to provide more precise spectral wavelengths that increase colour purity, colour brightness and a wider colour gamut capability. The only differences between the RGB Mini LED TV and the SQD are the backlight approaches, as they both use the most advanced and new WHVA 2.0 VA panel with its wide viewing angles, improved ultra colour filter, 7000:1 claimed native contrast and an ultra low reflection film that keeps the screen looking glossy but reduces those reflections. Both models also have the latest Panasonic 800 chipset with 4 full bandwidth HDMI 2.1 ports, as well as a firmware update later this year to add Dolby Vision 2. As I say, CES is a show and tell event where manufacturers get to show off their big products and what's coming for the year ahead, and don't necessarily go into the more consumer level TVs. But I have to say, I'm really looking forward to getting my first real hands-on experience with all of these TVs that have been announced in the next few months. All of the manufacturers mentioned in this video, as well as Sony and Panasonic, will be holding their own events very soon, in fact within the next couple of weeks for the first one, and this is where we'll get the full lineups for the year ahead. And of course, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you don't miss any of our coverage from these launch events happening very, very soon, where we're able to give you the full model lineups and an actual hands-on with some of these TVs. And this brings me back to the question at the start of the video about how valuable CES is for TV launches. With brands holding their own launch events mere weeks following CES, where we can deep dive into the product lineup, including features, and also get hands-on experiences with review samples being available, is CES still relevant when it comes to the new TV technology and product launches? Is CES coverage important to you as a viewer and as a member of AV Forums? Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below or on AV Forums. What do you think? Now, before I wrap up, there were also a couple of projectors announced at the show which really grabbed my interest and attention, and we'll certainly get in for review this year as soon as they're available. So I did go to the AWOL Vision stand, where I saw the new Aetherion Pro and Aetherion Max ultra short throw projectors, which are brand new for 2026 and which will be launching as a Kickstarter at the beginning of February. And these projectors have many new features added. Both these projectors are RGB pure triple laser models featuring 0.47 DLP DMDs, and they do have the RBE or rainbow effect reduction built in for both 2D and 3D modes. The Pro model has a claimed 2600 ISO lumens, and the Max has a 3300 ISO lumens rating. New for these models is a motorized lens cover, so when the unit's not in use, this will cut down on issues with dusting and so on. There's also support for Dolby Vision, HLG, HDR10, HDR10 Plus formats, as well as filmmaker mode and IMAX enhanced picture modes, and they will also be well adapted to gaming with support with VRR, ALM, and along with a fast input lag. There's Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.4, along with 3 HDMI 2.1 ports, DisplayPort, and 2 USB inputs. Both models will give you 80 to 200 inch screen sizes from a short distance away from any screen, and it's important that you do have an ALR screen to get the very best out of them. And staying with short throw projectors, I also had a look at the new Hisense PX4 Pro, which is taking over from the very popular PX3 Pro. It can project screen inch sizes up to 200 inches, it has 3500 ANSI lumens of brightness, and a maximum contrast of 6000:1, achieved by the new Iris lens system, and it also has 4K resolution. And another projector that caught my eye on the Hisense stand was the XR10, which is a brand new long throw unit that promises up to 6000:1 contrast and 6000 lumens of brightness for home cinema viewing with some ambient lights switched on. It also has excellent lens shift capabilities, and it uses 4 camera sensors to make AI adjustments for simple placement and image setup and correction for easy portability and flexibility. And that's it for my recap of CES 2026. I was out there on my own this year, and we really did just focus on the core subject matter of TV, all the new models. We covered all of them. We also got you some interviews that I noticed that are not available anywhere else. So if you want to find out directly from the manufacturers like LG and Samsung and so on, exactly what's coming this year, the technology involved, what the panel updates and so on, we've got those interviews out there. Go check out our CES 2026 playlist. We'll link it in somewhere round about here, and also leave your comments below on your thoughts of which TVs or projectors that you think will be the best performers of the year, and what were your thoughts of CES in general, whether it was our coverage elsewhere. What kind of gist did you get from the show, and what is it that you're really looking forward to in 2026? And if you found this video useful, then please do like and subscribe, as we've got lots of video content on the way very soon. Ed and Tim will be covering more hi-fi reviews, and I'll be looking at some of the 2025 TV models that you should maybe consider as bargains as we start the new year. And I also have some of the projectors, monitors, and of course I'll be attending those TV launches as soon as they happen. So get subscribed, ring the bell so you don't miss any of those videos. But that's it for now. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.